Hello and good morning, everyone. Again, I'm here with an all-new training, and this training is all about how you can make your customer feels. So you must be knowing that connecting with the audience is the utmost important thing, and that is how you scale your business. This is how you build your business. That's the foundation. And most of the people don't know how to make this kind of a connection, right? Yes, everybody is trying on their own. Somebody is doing singing, somebody is doing dancing, somebody is doing something else, but actually, you have to activate the emotional cord of the audience if you want to make things happen, if you want to connect with them emotionally. So that's what the topic is for the day. And I'm happy to share with you this important topic, which is going to help you to understand how you can make your audience feel, right? So that's the topic. And today I'm going to do it again at the short training. Might take 15-20 minutes. And again, it will be followed by a Q&A session if you have any questions. So I could say, Vishali ji, good morning. So let me start with the training. Okay. Okay. So here am I. And the topic, as I told you, how I do make customers feel. So this is the topic where you can also make your customers feel about you, right? That's the topic, and that's how you connect emotionally. So let's begin. Welcome everyone. Welcome to this training where I'm going to talk about how you are going to make customer feel, right? That's one of the most important things. If your customer cannot feel, they cannot connect with you, right? That's the foundation. And I always talk about going deep into the roots, building the foundations right. This is what I'm going to cover today as well. So how you're going to make your customer feel. So you must have heard different marketing names and processes and tools. Today, I'm going to talk about something very special, which is called nostalgia marketing. Nostalgia marketing. Now, the word itself talks about lots of things related to memory, right? So, nostalgia marketing strategy is something which will make your audience feel. Now, how it works? Simple. Let me talk about something which you would be able to relate to faster, right? Have you seen anything which relates to your past? Let's say an old boy playing with mud, or an old toy where didn't have that kind of electronic gadgets, right? People, we like, let's say I'm into my 50s now, and we have played with those kind of kites, mud, different uh, I would say raw games, right? We today also we are playing, the kids are playing this I spy, right? Other things we have been playing with uh, balls. These were not ready-made balls. We used to create balls on our own, correct? All these kind of games we have played, right? They are somewhere in our memories. So these memories are from the past, which has been now used as marketing strategy, and that is what is called nostalgia marketing, right? So this nostalgia marketing is what it's about, tapping into the emotion part of your past, which is a good past actually, right? And that's how you build connections. That's how you build connection with your good memories. And again, it carries to now. So the past memories where you feel good, that is converted into something for now where you are going to take a decision. And all these things are for the purpose of increasing the business, sales, marketing, right? So that is why this topic is called nostalgia marketing, and you are going to learn this, correct? So this nostalgia marketing is not just the old memories. It's a trip down your memory lane, right? As a marketer, you should be understanding how this nostalgia marketing is gonna build stronger engagement and loyalty with your audience, right? And if you can do it right, it is gonna give you a brand recognition. It is gonna give you better, deeper connection with your audience, and as a result, obviously your sales are gonna increase, right? So let's understand and break it down how nostalgia marketing works and how it is an effective tool for brand marketing. And obviously, sales is about product of your marketing, right? So as I said, nostalgia marketing is talking about your positive memories, creating emotional connections between the consumer and the product and the service, correct? And this leads to a very strong consumer engagement and loyalty. Now, when I say relating with the past, now we are in an era of different generations, right? Somebody from my age would be called Gen X, right? We are from people born between 60 to 80 or something, right? So we are Gen X. We have a different kind of a memory of our schools, of our friends, of the surroundings, of the tools, of the gadgets. At that time, TV used to be a bigger digital equipment, right? Come to Zen Y, you can say early 90s or early 2000, right? These people are, you can say, Zen Y. They have a different approach towards playing with the toys, because at that time the technology has definitely moved ahead, correct? They have their memory of maybe the, you can say, Walkman, cassette player, something like that. And today, if I talk about Gen Z, which is people who have born in 2010 and beyond, they are Gen Z guys. They are using smartphones. They are using all AI tools. So everybody has a different set of a memory. So what you have to do is you have to correlate with the different cultural references, different age groups, right? And that is how nostalgia marketing campaigns are blending your past experience with the modern elements to keep the strategy relevant and engaging. You'll be shown some old things and you'll be shown some new things. So you will be having a positive journey from that place to this place. That is how your brain is triggered, right? Similarly, here in nostalgia marketing, social listening is essential, because these things are the things which actually, uh, you know, uh, help you to understand what your audience is looking for, right? That is what nostalgia marketing driving campaigns are. So you can use your brand history, you can use emotional stories with a personal background or a professional background. And if I tell you, if you can recall, every company you see, even Amazon or Microsoft, they show when they started with the garage kind of a thing. They're showing that picture. What is this? This is again a nostalgia marketing. People are showcasing how they started, and people relate to it, because not everybody starts with a bigger bank balance, not everybody starts with a bigger setup, right? So, what it is happening, it is actually connecting with you with the past and the actual scenarios, right? So nostalgia can lead to higher emotional satisfaction. That is what it does. And it definitely is gonna relate and increase your brand loyalty and willingness to spend. Correct? Now, let me explain. I'll be talking about these 3 points, tips for implementing nostalgia marketing in detail. But the first is knowing your audience, leveraging social listening, and tapping into the history. Right? It could be a company history, it could be your own history. Right? So let me bring it down again. What is nostalgia marketing? So nostalgia marketing taps into the emotions by linking a product or service from the past, right? So it is bringing something from the past to the current stage of your life, right? And this creates an emotional bond between the consumer and the services and the brand, actually, right? So it could be through music, imagery, things, or even some old product design, some old stories, something which has been lost in the past but which has an emotional connect. Right now, there are multiple examples. You go and check about how Coca-Cola used this, how Nike used this. They have been doing this for long. They are the bigger brands of this world, correct? And they connect with you with your childhood memories, correct? That's how they do it. Now, the key element here is that each generation, as I told you, has its own set of cultural references, and that is what it triggers. That is what these emotions are triggered that way, right? So I gave you the example of 80s, 90s, and 2000 people where maybe watching a TV show was a dream at that time, maybe for the 80s people. But nowadays, if I talk about children born in 2000 and 2005, 10, they are accustomed to the smartphones technology. They're using AI tools. They are doing a lot of other digital and technological based activities which the people of 80s would not be relating to. That's where your past memories come into play. So how does it work? Let me talk about. It's all about getting to the good old memories. So everybody has a memory. Nobody can say that they don't have a memory. Yes, people do have bad memories, people do have good memories. This nostalgia marketing talks about initiating and aggravating the good old memories for a particular purpose. And the purpose is to create better connections, better brand recognition, better brand loyalty, converting to more and more sales, right? That's what the purpose is. Now, you have to understand how these things are done, correct? So I gave you certain examples. Now I'll give you one punchline which I have learned after, learning through these research papers, that, people aren't just buying a product. People don't just buy a product. People buy the idea of reliving a piece of their past, actually, right? People are actually buying a piece of their past through this nostalgia marketing. It's as simple as that. You relate to it, and then you understand that, okay, if I buy it, I'll be having a feel of the past, which was really good, which is golden, right? So nostalgia isn't only personal, it's social too. Actually, you can share memories of a generation, creating a sense of community. Let's say how you played in a group of friends. You can share that as well. That becomes a social nostalgia, right? Today, when friends meet, they meet over a booze party or a club or a disco or a resort. At that time, nostalgia, you can, calculate in that way. You can think in that way. Used to be, people going and standing maybe in front of a tree, or maybe in a playground, or maybe at the step of a holy place or something like that. There could be anything, but that is a part of your memory lane, right? So that is why brands running nostalgia campaigns are appealing to larger audience through social sharing. That is what I am talking about, right? And as I said, that everyone has a different version of their past, but the emotion it sparks is universal. The past, the memories from the past, that evokes a natural emotion for the people, and that is what you need to aggravate. That is how the marketing has been done. So let's start with how you are gonna do this. The effective areas to start with. Number one, music choices, using songs or tunes from specific eras, right? Let's say if somebody is coming from the 80s, they might be loving the classical music, right? But the era of today might be using this rap, correct? In between, the people used to love rock and pop music as well. Disco songs, we used to call it, right? So the era again is defining what kind of a choices people have at that time. And if you want to target those kind of a people, you need to have those kind of a music in your marketing campaign. Correct? Fonts and typography. Again, retro fonts from the past decades bring a familiar buy without needing an entire rebranding. You know, the types and the typography, how people used to write, right? What font people used to write. Actually, at that time when typewriter was the primary thing, we didn't had an option of choosing multiple fonts. So if you want to target those kind of people who are little elderly, if you can use the fonts which are similar to how a typewriter writes, I think that becomes a nostalgia marketing, right? I'm just giving some examples. Color schemes. People have multiple, now we have n number of choices with a combination of RGB pattern, you know that very well, correct? At that time, we didn't have this kind of a tool. So we used to have actually few colors, three prominent colors, the basic colors, and some, combined colors, which we call it, right? Now here again, you can have a color palette associated with a specific decade, like let's say thinking neon of the 80s or earth tones for the 70s, right? This is what I'm talking about. Particular color choice related to the era. Coming to the language and the slang. If let's say today people are talking about dab, right? The young kids do this dab, or they do some short form text, rest DND, or in spite of putting it OKAY, okay, they just put KK or only K. These kind of things are this today's generation way of communicating, right? Earlier we used to write bigger sentences. We were in a practice of writing letters, right? Then came the email, and now the shorter versions of text, and WhatsApp and other things are going on. So language and slang, the language which we used to use with our friends, the slang we used to use with our friends. What, again, it depends upon the era to era. Every era has a different language, a different slang. So depending upon what your audience would be connecting to, you can use that. Similarly, packaging design. A product redesign featuring a vintage look can create a memorable experience. People of that era would be looking towards something very specific, right? A different kind of a packaging altogether, right? So all these things are the effective areas to start with nostalgia marketing. Now I'm talking about how you're gonna use this. Tips for implementing nostalgia marketing. So it's a gold mine, as I said. Nostalgia marketing is gonna be a gold mine if you're doing it right. Right. So here are some practical tips which I'm gonna share with you. Number one, know your audience first. I always talk about know your audience so deep that even they would be astonished and bewildered to know how come you know much about them. So this is before diving into the nostalgia marketing campaign, research your audience, target audience well in advance, right? So as I said, different generations have different triggered touch points. You need to understand that, right? And I gave you that example. Now coming to the same point, knowing your audience means what all. Start by researching the following. Number one, age group and demographics. What age group you are targeting? Where did they grow up? What were the culture at that time? If you can research that well, you'll be able to relate with them more. What were the media habits at that time? The TV shows. Let's say if I talk about Star Trek. When I was a kid, I was maybe in my class 5 or 6, I used to watch Star Trek. It was a scientific fiction. I used to love a lot, right? So if somebody talks about Star Trek, I definitely will be interacting more with them, because very few of this today's kids would be knowing about that particular TV serial, right? But yes, there were other middle age, like then came Shaktiman and there's He-Man and Superman. All these serials are there, correct? So depending upon the age, you can choose. So media habits, the TV shows, the music, the movies, the trends, correct? Coming to the hobbies and pastimes, what games you used to play, your audience used to play at that era. Depending upon the era, you need to define that, know that, and so that you can communicate in that sense, right? I gave you an example. Like we people used to create. I'm talking about myself. Just an example. We used to create bows and arrows. Bows and arrows. Arrows used to be from the scope of the cycle, a retired cycle, and the bows used to made through the bamboo sticks, right? We used to find threads, a solid thread to make that string, right? So all these things are memories. Now coming to the values and convictions. At that time, what were the values? How people used to be socially active inside their family, with their friends, with the teachers, in the surroundings. So again, values and conviction. If you can research all this, you'll be able to create a good marketing campaign which would be related to nostalgia marketing, right? That's it. So now you know the secret sauce to create nostalgia marketing. And this is what I was willing to cover in this particular topic, where you can make your customers feel, right? Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to another one. If you have any questions, please do let me know. I'd be more than happy to answer your questions. Welcome, Kriti.
Hi, Alokji. I have a question.
Yeah, please.
So, for the first time, I've been listening to you. So, I wanted to attend since a long time, but I've not been able to.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've been thinking that the example you gave now of
Mm-hmm.
this Nintendo.
Yeah.
So, I feel like it is a combination of two, three eras, right? Because
Yeah.
my son is 6.5 years old, but
Okay.
he's like he was asking me for a Nintendo,
Mm-hmm.
that what I have to do to earn it. So
Okay.
yesterday only he was asking me, so I got the attention at that particular point only,
Mm-hmm.
that how come these brands are new but still they have impact on the like this generation also and the previous generations also. So how they can do it? Like what is that message that it resonates with everyone? That's my question.
Okay.
How to
Let me
create,
first
like
clarify.
how to
Yeah.
bring that element in your own thing also.
Correct. See, I told you, you need to first of all know your audience. Here you are talking about your child, right?
Yes.
Right. I'm talking about marketing. This
Hmm.
is a nostalgia marketing where you need to first of all decide
Hmm.
who is your target audience, right?
Yes.
So if your target audience is new generation kids,
Hmm.
right? So you need to talk about what all gadgets they have been using, what all games they have been playing, what all slangs they are using among their peer groups, right? So
Mm.
if you can talk in that language, they'll relate to you better, right?
Mm.
Talking to us, let's say I'm into my 50s, I gave you an example of, let's say we were doing some other stuff. We were not technically that much enabled at that time because of the surroundings. Now the technology has grown up. So the point here is you need to first decide who your target audience.
Mm.
Based on your target audience, this is a marketing campaign. This is a type of marketing which I'm talking about, right? So
Yes.
your question is particularly about the child,
No,
right? Correct?
this is the example. Like when I heard that name, when I saw the name on the slide, now that
Okay.
clicked me.
Yeah,
So I was thinking of asking you that how should I bring that in my own thing? Like my target audience is working professionals between the age of 30 to 50,
correct.
who are overwhelmed by stress or emotional baggage.
True.
So how can I bring that element into my marketing style?
Exactly. So when you say your people are 30 to 35, that means they
30 to
might
50. 30 to
30 to
50.
50. Okay, 30 to 50. That means they might have been born in between 80s and 90s,
Yes.
something around. Right now, try to research what were the tools, what gadgets we used to use at that time, what kind of a song or movies used to be displayed at that time, what kind of a TV serials used to happen at that time, right? And out of that, if you can highlight few of those which are more, like in my time, I remember on Sundays we used to see Malguri days.
Yes.
Right. That was a story been written by, I think, Dr. R.K. Narayan something. It's a very well-known book. And there was a TV serial.
Mm.
Correct? I remember that. If somebody talks about Malguri days or Mr. R.K. Narayan, immediately I connect with that.
Important.
So that research is more important for you to understand what your audience will be connecting to.
Hmm.
Right? So if you can create a list, as I said, the movies, the books, maybe at time, the TV serials, the games, the surroundings, the mode of travel, right? I remember when I was, let's say, uh, for a very shorter period of time before my engineering, I came to Delhi, and that time blue line buses used to be there. People used to get rushed in the buses, and the ticket used to be for 1 rupee. Now there is nothing called 1 rupee as a ticket, right?
Hmm.
So if somebody talks about, I do had, an experience of paying 1 rupee from one place to another. The minimum fare was 1 rupee, right? Later on, then it was, double 2 rupees, then it went to 5 rupees. Now it is something else. So I think if you can create that kind of, content which talks about the era where people have felt those things, that that is the point where people will be more relating with you.
Okay.
Correct. That's the research actually which we need to do.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, so what do you do and where do you live, Kriti?
I live in Pune and I'm
Hmm?
into inner child healing.
Okay, very nice. I'm very close to, parenting. I started my journey with parenting and I have two kids. The elder one is now 23 plus, so he is an adult now. The younger one is 15. And I too have gone with multiple learnings on my own to help the kids to grow. And I'm pretty much sure that everybody is doing their part. But in this particular domain, you need to be very active and dynamic nowadays, because at that time we just, what do you say, हम लोग पल गए जिसको कहते हैं ना, हम लोग पल गए. अभी पालना पड़ता है, otherwise there are lots of distractions and diversions that you need to take care of our kids in a very systematic way.
Yes, true.
Good, good. So how your business going? How long you have been into this?
I've actually started last year only. Before that, I was doing numerology consultations one on one.
Okay.
But when I saw that there is a lot of gap between, when people are trying to solve their problems with the help of numerology and all,
Mm-hmm.
so some part is taken care of, no doubt in that. But there
Mm-hmm.
is a major portion which remains untouched.
Okay.
So I wanted to tap into that also, that why things are not working for me as well. So
Mm-hmm.
when I did, little bit of everything like life coaching and NLP, and I was trying to do one thing or the other to solve my own problems. So I got to know about inner child healing, and from
Mm-hmm.
there only I got the actual crux of, how to solve your life's problem. So
Correct.
that is how I got into it. So
Very
yeah,
nice.
mostly I started last year with one-on-ones. Now I've like started my ads and a proper funnel. I have started like in November only. So it
Mm-hmm.
has been on almost 2, 3 months. that I'm
Okay.
running ads, I'm doing webinars.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, kind of beginner in this.
Okay. So how is the response of your ads and webinars?
The response of ad is very nice. Like I'm getting very good CPL,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of people are coming in.
Mm-hmm.
But the point, what I'm not able to understand that, like the L1, L2, L3 wala jo structure hai, what Siddharth has given now.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been trying to sell my L1 for
Mm-hmm.
5K.
Mm-hmm.
So that was not happening. I
Okay.
was trying to sell, but I was not able to understand why the people are not buying it. So I
Mm-hmm.
thought of giving something for 999, a low
Okay.
ticket, so that I would be able to test whether the price is the barrier or there is something else which is the barrier. So
Mm-hmm.
I tried the 999. It got sold.
Mm-hmm.
So I realized that there might be something which I need to, there must be a low ticket product to start with the front end so that people would be able to trust
Mm-hmm.
and experience first, and then I can, pitch the next level program. So this is how I'm trying and testing basically.
Okay, okay. So actually, I have been into Siddharth community for long, and before even he starting ILH, I was a part of some other team where we were together. But the point here is, I don't resonate with what Siddharth is teaching to the entire people because I believe in different concept, and I have been trained by multiple other international trainers and coaches. I believe in high ticket selling because see, it's not about the value of money which you're charging, whether it is 999. I never sold for 999 or something. I started with $1,500,
Okay.
right from $1,500 because I put in a lot of those things, the trust actually.
Yes.
People are not buying your product or services. People are buying your trust first,
Right.
right? So to build the trust, there has to be a system,
Hmm.
right? And when you said ads, ads will require money, number
Right.
one.
Hmm.
And what happens in this system? See, I'm not against anybody's method. I'm just putting my words. When people have not trusted you, ads would not work,
Right.
right? Ads would only work when you have actually built your foundation right. People know you organically.
Hmm.
People have seen you for some time, and then ads are to accelerate your business. Ads are not to start your business. There is a major misconception, and this is being taught, so I cannot comment on that. Ads are always to accelerate your business, not to start your business.
Okay.
Right. So
Yeah.
what I do is I tell you to first build your foundation organically.
Hmm.
Then you can, after a period of time, when you have certain customers in place, you have validated your product at some price. Let's say, as you said, 5,000 people were not buying, 999 people are tasting.
Yes.
Now, have you given some results to the people? Are
Hmm.
they talking good about you?
Hmm.
Right. So all this comes and happens through a process,
Right.
and this is part of the fundamentals setting ground. I talk about it as जैसे हम लोग कहते हैं नींव, हमारी बिजनेस का वो नींव है,
Right.
फाउंडेशन है. जब तक हम फाउंडेशन नहीं बनाएंगे, हम ऊपर ऊपर कैसे भाग सकते हैं? तो ऐड ऊपर ऊपर भागना है.
Hmm. Hmm.
फाउंडेशन बनता नहीं है और हम ऐड करने लगते हैं. उसमें दो चीजें होती हैं. एक, लोगों ने ट्रस्ट नहीं किया हम पे, हमारे पैसे जा रहे हैं,
Hmm.
राइट. और ऐड का क्या होता है ना, जितना देर आप पैसा लगाओगे उतना देर ऐड आपका चलेगा. जैसे आपने पैसा बंद किया, ऐड बंद किया, अगेन यू आर गॉन. पीपल विल
Right.
नॉट एबल टू सी यू.
Hmm.
So how do you think people will rate to it and build trust in you if they're not seeing you consistently,
Right.
right? So there are two ways. Either you have a big budget to keep on doing these ads with a actually at a good amount of money. वो
Hmm.
200 रुपये 300 रुपये से यदि आप सोचोगे ना कि हो जाएगा स्टार्टिंग में, तो भी नहीं होता है. Yes,
Right.
you can have a hands-on experience of
Hmm.
your ads, but it will not give you results.
Hmm.
So either you have a big bank balance to back it up,
Hmm.
or you should be doing organic marketing first to
Hmm.
build your foundations right over a period of time, and then you scale it up with ads. This is how I suggest, and this is how I have done it.
Hmm.
Right. So your question, why people were not buying, was just because of the trust. Now you lowered the price
Hmm.
and people found less risk. Actually, trust is actually a result of your risk.
Yes.
People found less risk in 999. 99 चला भी जाएगा तो क्या हो जाएगा, कोई बात नहीं है
Right.
ना. So people are now buying it.
Hmm.
But if you can increase the trust before even selling, people will buy even at 10,000 rupees, at 1 lakh rupees or 2 lakh rupees, doesn't matter. Price is not a constraint.
Right.
People are in India are paying a lot of money to a lot of coaches. The only factor which is differentiating you between the other is the level of trust which they have made and you have not yet made.
Yes.
That's
But
the
I'm
crux.
doing organically, like since past last 2, 3 years, I've been posting content regularly. I have my own YouTube channel. And organically also I'm doing. So that is not a thing that I'm only doing ads.
Mm-hmm.
It's just when you want a batch to be formed, now, like it's a group coaching. So it is like when people come every single day. So you have some options, like if you want to do webinars regularly,
Yeah,
there must be a few people coming in every single time. Like
true.
ऑर्गेनिकली में होता है कि एक बार कोई आया देन फॉर द फॉर द रेस्ट ऑफ द मंथ nobody would be coming, so you cannot predict the traffic actually who are
No, no,
going
no.
to come and watch.
Something is wrong here. Let me first of all tell you and correct you. Number one, only posting is not organic marketing,
Yes, yes.
right? There are a lot of other things which you need to do, and you can have a predictable income exactly through organic marketing. I have been doing everything organically. I know how much money I need to make. I know how many client I need to take. It is on my choice, provided you do organic methods in a right way. I
Hmm.
am not sure how good you are at doing organic marketing.
Hmm.
People don't do all the stuffs which are required for you to get into organic marketing,
Yeah.
right? People are doing again superficial things. Yeah, as you said, posting. You're posting content, that's okay. That's just one, or say 5% of the entire organic marketing.
Yes, yes.
So there are
Because
ways.
I've been into Sagar Sangam Sahu hai na?
Mhm,
He's into organic marketing only. So I'm into his diamond membership also.
mhm,
So he is having a lot of things which you need to cover when you are doing organic marketing. So
right,
yes, there is a lot to it. I can like see that.
correct, true. So apply, implement. See, the beauty and the results are a function of proper implementation. Theory, everybody will tell you the same thing.
Yeah.
Right. You go to Google and Google will tell you, YouTube will tell you, whether it is Saigar or Siddharth or anybody else, the process remains the same.
Right.
The beauty and the difference lies in how much somebody is hand holding you to
Hmm.
get it implemented right in the shortest possible time.
Okay.
It cannot be for infinite period of time. Let's say somebody is saying, okay, I'll give you a lifetime support. Are you going to wait for the lifetime to get some results? So I
No.
don't believe in lifetime support, actually. If
Mm-hmm.
you are there with somebody, you should be having a timeline for yourself, for your business, if you're doing a business. Else, if you're doing it at a charity or you're just passing a time, it's your wish. But if it is a business, every business has a target. Every
Yeah.
business has a timeline. So this, I don't believe in all this shit marketing strategies saying I'll be giving you a lifetime support. I never say my people to give a lifetime support. मुझे अपनी जिंदगी का भरोसा नहीं है, मैं आपकी जिंदगी को कहाँ से लाइफ टाइम सपोर्ट दूंगा? Am I can I guarantee my own life?
Yes.
So how can somebody give a lifetime support? तुम्हें अपनी जिंदगी का क्या है, पता है तुमको कि तुम कब मरने वाले हो? So all this bullshit, I don't take it actually. I only say that you should be having a deadline. If you're doing a business, there has to be a timeline, there has to be a goal, there has to be a system. You need to follow and achieve. Yes, plus minus, there would be something here and there, that's okay. But at least you'll be able to see what you're doing, how you're doing. This is my take, and I'm very blunt in this. And that's my uniqueness, even you can say, because I don't, beat around the bush. I don't talk about, showing just, those things which are not at, I only talk about things which are present, at present. What you're doing, what you'd be doing the next step. मैं ये नहीं कहूंगा चलो आप 5 लाख 5 करोड़ 1 करोड़ कमा लोगे. अरे भाई पहले 1 लाख तो कमाओ. मैं कहता हूँ पहले 1 लाख कमा के दिखाओ, और मैं आपके साथ कहता हूँ चलो 1 लाख ऐसे कमाते हैं. जब 1 लाख कमाने का जो प्रोसेस होगा और 10 लाख कमाने का प्रोसेस होगा, बिल्कुल अलग होगा. 1 करोड़ कमाने का प्रोसेस और भी उससे अलग होगा, है ना? सो आई मतलब आई टेल यू, आई एम बिन, आई डोंट नो, मैं थोड़ा सा बदनाम इस वजह से अपने आप को कहता हूँ क्योंकि मैं ब्लंटली सब चीजें बोलता हूँ जो लोगों से मैच नहीं करता. People are attracting clients by just giving fake dreams. you know See, you are into different kind of communities. People are talking about come and earn 3 lakh rupees a month. You have been working for 2 years now.
Hmm.
आपने क्या 3 लाख रुपए महीने का कमाया?
नहीं.
So what is this? These are all marketing things. I'm not saying it is not possible, but the majority of the people are just being attracted towards this bloody hope, which is okay. होप पे तो पूरी दुनिया चल रही है, लेकिन इतना भी होप मत दो कि आदमी आकर परेशान हो जाए. राइट. उनको प्रैक्टिकल चीज दो, सपोर्ट करो कि हाँ, आप उनको बोलो कि जी पहले महीने आप इतना कमाओगे, 3 महीने में आप इतना कमाओगे, 6 महीने, पहले महीने से आप 3 लाख के सपने दिखा रहे हो या 30 लाख के सपने दिखा रहे हो, करोड़पति बनाते हो आप शब्दों में, बातों में. I don't take it actually. And that's where there is a difference of opinion. एंड आई एम नॉट हियर टू क्रिटिसाइज एनीबडी, बट दिस इज हाउ आई टेक इट. मैं अपने किसी भी क्लाइंट्स को ये नहीं कहता कि भाई आओ और रातों रात आप 3 लाख रुपये कमा लोगे, या पहले महीने में आप 3 लाख रुपये कमा लोगे. पॉसिबल नहीं है. मैं उनको कहता हूँ कि पैसा कैसे आता है. पैसा तब आता है जब आपके पास स्किल आता है. You are not paid for your designation, you are not paid for your looks, you are not paid for your ads. You are
Yes.
paid for your skills, and skills can be accumulated with time. It won't happen in the very first month. Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
तो वो स्किल के ऊपर काम करना पड़ेगा ना, थोड़ा समय लगेगा.
Yes.
People are just attracted towards, I always talk about it, the assigning object syndrome. यार नौकरी कर रहे हैं, 1 लाख 1.5 लाख 2 रुपये कहा रहे हैं, अब तो 3 लाख रुपए महीने आराम से आ जाएंगे. बट वो इतने आराम से नहीं आते हैं. आते हैं. देर आर पीपल हु हैव मेड इट सक्सेस, आई एम नॉट अगेंस्ट दैट. बट वो रेशियो भी बहुत कम है. क्यों? क्योंकि उसमें मेहनत लगती है. किसी भी बिजनेस में मेहनत लगती है. मेहनत करेंगे तो हम पहुंचेंगे, प्रोसेस करेंगे तो पहुंचेंगे. सो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट व्हाट आई टॉक अबाउट इट. गुड दैट यू आस्क दिस क्वेश्चंस, and I'm looking forward to any help if you need. That's okay. From wherever you are learning, I always appreciate all the mentors who are teaching good things. But मेरा बस एक ही कंसर्न रहता है ना, वो ख्वाब दिखाओ, होप जगाओ, रियलिस्टिक करके. बस दैट्स द ओनली डिफरेंस. मैं भी कहता हूँ कि आप कर लोगे, बट मैं वही कहता हूँ, करोगे, करने के पहले आपको ये चीजें अपने आप में इंक्लूड करनी पड़ेंगी. Because people don't pay you for your looks, and people don't pay you for your designation, people don't pay you for your content, people don't pay you for your ads. People pay you for your skills, and skills are attained with time. Good. Thank you so much. Vishali ji, you have any question?
नो सर, आई डोंट हैव एनी क्वेश्चन, बट बहुत अच्छा लगा आज का ट्रेनिंग, क्योंकि ये पहलू पे हम सोचते ही नहीं है कि हमारी टारगेट ऑडियंस किस एज की है, और हमको उस एज के बारे में बात करनी चाहिए, या उस हम न्यू इरा की तो बात करते हैं, न्यू चीजों की बात करते हैं, बट हम अपने टारगेट ऑडियंस के टाइम की जो कनेक्शन है, मतलब एग्जांपल्स देने हैं हमको, वहां से उठाने चाहिए वो एग्जांपल्स. दैट आई गॉट अभी आज के उसमें, तो मुझे ये समझ में आया है कि एग्जांपल्स वहां से उठाने चाहिए, और वहां से उठाएंगे तो वो ज्यादा रिलेट कर पाएंगे, क्योंकि हम आज की एग्जांपल्स देने में बिजी हो जाते हैं, आज ऐसा, आज वैसा, ये आई, ये वो, ऑल दोस थिंग्स. बट वी नीड टू कैसे उसको इनकॉर्पोरेट करें, वो अभी मतलब राइट डाउन करके फिर कैसे कैसे इनकॉर्पोरेट करना है, दैट इज वो थोड़ा सा हमको हमारे लिए ब्रेन के लिए वो ठीक रहेगा, कि हमको मतलब प्रॉपरली ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा. एक बार लिख के रखेंगे तो ध्यान रहेगा, अदरवाइज हम लिख के नहीं रखते हैं, हर चीज माइंड में रखते हैं ना. मैंने आज यही देखा कि हम एवरीथिंग हम माइंड में रखते हैं कि हाँ ये कर लेंगे, ये कर लेंगे, बट जब करने का टाइम आता है तो वो याद ही नहीं आता, क्योंकि माइंड से वो निकल के बाहर नहीं आता. So better to write down each and everything. So from today, I'm going to start all those things actually. That's
Exactly.
really good. Thank you.
वेलकम. मैं कल ने एक छोटा सा इसके ऊपर रील भी बनाया. राइटिंग इज हाफ डन, राइट? एंड इफ यू अनाउंस इट पब्लिकली, इट इज फुल्ली डन. पहले तो आप लिख लो कि यस दिस इज व्हाट आई नीड टू डू, करेक्ट? सो यू नॉट फॉरगेट इट. सेकेंडली, अनाउंस इट पब्लिकली. आई गिव यू एन एग्जांपल. सी वी ऑल आर फैमिली पीपल, हमारे बच्चे हैं. अब बच्चे को बोलो, एग्जांपल दे रहा हूँ, कि बच्चे ने बोला कि पापा या मम्मी मेरे को आइसक्रीम खाना है, फॉर एग्जांपल, या मुझे ये टॉय लेना है. अब बोलो ठीक है बेटा, मैं शाम को ला दूंगा. शाम को बच्चा रिमाइंड करेगा आपको, मम्मा लाया नहीं आप, करेक्ट? So when you announce publicly, when you announce on the social media that yes, let's say I'm gonna do live for, let's say, 7 days continuously. So when you announce, you commit yourself and you do it. Otherwise आपको लगेगा यार लोग क्या सोचेंगे मेरे बारे में. So writing is 50% done, and when you announce it publicly, it is almost done, because you commit yourself and you commit to the other people as well. So ये तरीका है अपने आप को कमिट करने का, अपने आप से प्रॉमिस करने का और डिलीवर करने का. दैट इज हाउ पीपल आर गोना बिल्ड ट्रस्ट इन यू. लाइक अभी देखो, आप लोग नहीं भी आते ना, आई डू दिस ट्रेनिंग ऑल सैटरडे, एवरी सैटरडे एट 11 AM. आप लोग नहीं भी आते तो भी मैं ये ट्रेनिंग करता, रिकॉर्ड करता, और मैं ये करता ही, बिकॉज दैट इज माई प्रॉमिस टू माई सेल्फ एंड माई ऑडियंस. एक आदमी आए, नहीं आए, कभी 5 लोग आते हैं, कभी 10 लोग आते हैं, कभी 2 लोग आते हैं, दैट्स ओके. बट दिस इज माई प्रॉमिस, सो आई हैव टू बी ऑन माई प्रॉमिस, right? So anytime if you are somewhere, you can find me into my group, and you'll see 11 o'clock I'm doing some training. That's a commitment. That is how I have built trust. In the last year, I'll tell you, I did 44 trainings, weekly trainings. Out of 52 weeks, I did 44 trainings. It's not easy, but it is a commitment. It is a consistency which pays me off. Right? Chalo, thank you so much. Any other question which I can take?
Thank
How
you.
was the
Thank you.
training? How was the training? Vishali ji ne बताया, Kriti ji आप बताओ, how was the training on this nostalgia marketing which I did?
Yeah, it gave me a lot of pointers to look at and add in my marketing.
Very
Like, it
nice.
was very nice. I have to make the list of the things you have mentioned so that I'll be able to give the proper examples at the right time.
Yep.
Yeah, it was helpful. Thank you.
Good. Thank you so much. So, if you don't have any questions, I'll take a leave and I wish you happy weekend. Enjoy. And as I said, every weekend I do this. Every Saturday I do this. Whenever you are okay to join, please do join. If you have any questions related to your business, this is after the training I take Q&As, as I said. Anything as you ask, कोई भी question आपको लगता है कुछ है, so you can ask that question. I'll be answering that as well. I have gone a long way in my journey. So now I'm capable of answering because I have done all the things which you might be going through. मैं शायद 2 साल पहले ये सारी चीजें कर चुका हूँ जो आज आप कह रहे हो, तो थोड़ा सा मैं आपसे आगे हूँ बस. और चूंकि प्रैक्टिकल जिंदगी का एक्सपीरियंस है, आई एम 50, आई हैव अ कॉर्पोरेट एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ 15 years in my own entrepreneurship journey. then entrepreneurship क्या होती है, बिजनेस क्या होता है, प्रोडक्ट सर्विसेज क्या होते हैं, हायरिंग फायरिंग processes, legal compliances. I have done everything on my own, so I can help you in any way if you have any questions. Right? Chalo, good. Thank you so much. It was literally pleasure talking to all of you, and we'll see you again in the next one. See you. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye, Vishalaji. Bye, Kritik.